All right. Good morning, everyone. Back on these commodities again. Wanted to do a quick video to harp on the move in copper to show you guys the copper from the technical aspect and its possibility of a sustainable breakout that is brewing. And going again to start by looking at the longer term monthly charts. I want to point out some areas here. Copper is another one that's set up for a strong breakout to the upside, a breakout above some areas that it has struggled with as far as resistance since 2011. And I think we are possibly about to see a breakout above that level. Folks, if you're not paying attention to these to these metals right now, shame on you, because the metals right now is a place that right now has opportunity to garner some huge returns if you pay attention to the moves that are happening. And if you put some money on these moves, you could really up your portfolio value over the next year or so. All right, so here is a look at a monthly chart of copper. And look to the left of my screen. I want to point out the area of consolidation and congestion where we started to pull back in between 2010 and 2011. Copper got up to as high as about a little bit over 4.5. And we stayed there for the bulk of about a year. We just traveled back and forth between 4 to 4.5 before breaking back down below 4. And as you can see, over the years after that, from 2011 all the way down to 2016 to 2017, down to some extreme lows, almost down to $2, to where copper started to rally again to about 2018, and then we came right back down around 2020, and then we started another sustainable move higher from 2020 all the way to around 2021. And look what it did. Got back up to this area again. Okay, up to that area again, started a little, almost like a cup of handle type situation. Between 2020 to 2022, trading above 4.5, reaching 5 before pulling back down, breaking back down below 4. But it found some strong support right around $3 to 3.5. 3.5 found some strong support. Started to rally a little bit between 2022 to 2023. Touched 4.5 again. Another sort of like a cup of handle type of formation again. This time settled right around 3.5. So that happened between 2022 to 2024. And now look what's happening. It's ready for another test of this area here, which I think is going to do the same thing that gold is doing. I think it's going to break out of this area. And once it breaks out of this area, folks, above 4.5, it's going to be eyeing a move to take out that $5 level. And I think it's very possible. Very possible. So that is the setup by looking at these monthly charts. Like it's a sustainable move higher. These monthly charts mean this is a strong trend. This is a strong trend in the direction of overall candlesticks. Now look at the RSI. So RSI also shows you the setup. When we hit oversold back in 2022, RSI just pretty much started to call in action. Now we're almost back to the breakout point in overbought territory, and we're real close to that level. So once we hit that level, normally we see a takeoff such as this. Clear all this mess up. So normally once we hit that overbought territory, normally we show strong movement to the upside, such as we did here. So 2020 broke out to the upside, and we had a strong move higher. Look at the TTM squeeze, like it's ready to fire off. Those red dots normally mean some type of consolidation or congestion area, or going through like a tight channel before a move higher. So all signs point to a sustainable move higher in copper. Again, can't reiterate it enough. If you have not been paying attention to these commodities, you've been hiding under a rock, because commodities is a good place where you can really make a lot of money right now, because they are all starting to fire off all at the same time, as far as the metals is concerned. That is a monthly chart. Let's take a look at current weekly chart. As you can see, perfect setup. This has been brewing. So for quite some time, after we had this big pullback from 2022, from beginning of 2022 down to the middle of 2022, we started to creep back up. Okay, touched that 4.5, and it looks like we came down, and we just started to consolidate below that $4 level. And now look what's happening now. TTM squeeze slowly but surely starting to show you momentum is in favor of the bull, favor to the upside. And we got a strong week brewing right here. Now next week, I do expect that strong week to continue possibly. And if we get that strong week next week, we could see a breakout above that 4.5. And then I think all bets are off at that point. We could be really starting to ramp up the challenge, that $5 level in copper. And let's take a quick glance at a daily chart. Here's a daily chart in copper, and as you can see, in overbought territory. So between now and the rest of this week, we could see some consolidation around this area before a little bit of pullback. But I think by the end of next week, we could definitely possibly, if not by tomorrow, but by the end of next week, we could definitely possibly see this move break out above this 4.5 level, and that would be huge for the copper sector. Now, I don't trade futures myself. So one of the good ways to play copper, if you're really paying attention to this move, is FCX. And FCX has been showing a lot of unusual call option activity within the options market over the past couple months or so, and I've been paying close attention to that. I already had a position in FCX of about a month or so ago. Closed out of that one for over 100 and I want to say over 150, over 130% profit. Entered another FCX position with a possible target of 55, possible target of 55 between now and June. So that's another way to play FCX. Play copper by trading FCX, Freeport McMoRan. Here is, look at the bigger picture for FCX. You can see overall move, and you can see the potential for a strong breakout. Oh, sorry. But since we had that pullback here, it has been eyeing a breakout. See the consolidation up into that corner of that triangle, and then ultimately, and then what I love about the TTM squeeze, that it shows you the squeeze area. All these red dots on you represent some type of squeeze that's happening. You know, highlight that. All these red dots mean it's going through some type of consolidation or squeeze, waiting for a breakout or breakdown. Looks like we are starting to break out. So between 2020, nice move up to that, again to that 40, about a little bit over $40, and back down to the bottom of this triangle, and started to consolidate from 2021 up until 2024. As you can see, tighter and tighter we got into this corner of the triangle. Finally it popped, and it did something. It popped out of that level, showing us that this move is probably just beginning for a takeout of this level. So FCX is a good way to play this particular move in copper. That's a monthly chart of FCX. Here's a weekly chart. You can see a clear breakout out of that triangle pattern. Again, you saw the move up to 51 here. So that means I do believe we're going to challenge that 51.99. That's going to be challenged very soon. Then we came back down. Did not create lower lows, which is what I like to see, creating higher lows on the way back up within this channel before the breakout. So copper is definitely breaking out. FCX is a good way to play it. Again, there were a lot of unusual call option activity spotted in FCX calls for May, June, July. Most of them triggering around between 50 to 55. 55 was the ultimate target that was focused on in the June calls. I noticed over the past week. All right, so wanted to point that out. Copper, folks. Copper, folks, is another one to pay close attention to. If better yet, don't just pay close attention to it. If you, commodities watch like myself, you want to be in this position. You want to be in a position within copper. All right, folks. Till the next video, Tim Davis signing off.